in StreamYard.
Okay.
Are we live now?
Yes, yeah, we are live. We just taken it live a lot earlier just to make sure that there's no issues, no hiccups, and that everything is streaming perfectly. But obviously, people only join in a lot later, so we'll be done long before they start joining.
Will you see people joining?
We'll be able to see if they do start joining.
The audience, I mean.
Yeah. Look, the chances of people joining very early is quite slim. If you do want to take it into another studio, I can send you a link.
Well, at least the winners. I don't want to see them that they already see the winners, especially the winners themselves.
Okay, fair enough. So, do you want to go into another room, or must I just not play the?
We should not play it then. We should not play it then. No.
Okay.
Yeah, or take us to another room. Let's see what Chris likes.
Okay, that's not a problem. I can literally copy and paste that link into here for you to click on as soon as everyone's arrived.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to move to another room. That's quiet.
Will the session be recorded?
Yes. Yeah. The session will be recorded.
And we would. Recorded,
yeah. Everything's recorded, and we'll obviously, this will get edited out before it gets put up.
Yeah. And we will see, during the session, not this session, but for advanced surgery, can I ask you how many people we have on board?
I'll be able to tell you what the sort of the active participants are during that session.
Yeah.
I'll communicate that with you, no problem.
Can you set up a group for us, the WhatsApp group, or do you want me to do that?
I actually think we do have one. Let me just see.
Yeah, we have one, but here. But it's not yet everyone, is it? No.
Do you want me to make you an admin so you can invite?
Yeah, let's do so.
Okay, I've just made you group admin.
Okay. Hi,
Barbara.
Hi, how are you?
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
¿Qué tal?
Muy bien. ¿Tú? ¿Tú qué
Muy
tal?
bien, también.
Bien. Good.
Gracias.
Well, finally.
Finally, yes. So Chris had his session at 8:00 with Rich. Be sure the videos are good, and he was okay. So that's
okay.
Great. We covered that.
Okay.
Hi, good morning.
Hi,
Kira.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Peggy is practicing her languages.
I was saying
multilingual.
Buongiorno.
Hi, welcome, Eric.
Hi,
Good
Eric.
morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Bonjour. Goedemorgen.
I don't speak Dutch. I understand it.
Yeah, no,
But it's well done.
I know. Nice to meet you, Eric.
Nice to meet you, and Barbara, Chiara as well. Barbara, we haven't met yet.
No, we didn't.
We need to schedule that.
It's a good day to meet.
Every day is a good day to meet.
Yes.
It's just a matter of finding a crack in time.
Welcome on board, Eric.
Thank you. Thank you. Do we expect to have Christian joining and the rest of the team as well?
They should.
Good.
Christian will join us now, and the leaders will join us on half an hour.
And we start at 10 this morning?
Live we go at 10,
Okay.
but in fact we are live now.
Yeah.
Because the studio already want to put everything live to make sure everything works. So be careful what you say.
Yeah.
Okay, I will mute my microphone. Okay.
So since yesterday, Rich, I'm a bit familiar with this environment. I think it
Yes,
worked.
fantastic. We had a good session yesterday there.
Yeah, it worked well. It worked well. It was good. But I must admit that my attention was very focused on Monday, so I kind of take a day at a time this week. But we'll do fine this morning.
No, fantastic. Thank you. And
do we have a PowerPoint deck? I only have a couple of slides I'd like to inject.
yeah, so that was actually going to be my question. Chris mentioned that you may have
I have two slides after his part, because you know the way we've built this, and it's all like last minute change. Morning, Chris.
Hi, Chris. Good morning.
So we decided to have this 40. It's a 45-minute, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
So and we split it kind of in 3 parts, 10-15 minutes each, where Christian starts by reflecting on the success and celebrating the achievements of 21. I introduce myself, and this is where I'd like to use a couple of slides. One, which is the connected care slide that Joe Almeida is using, and another one, which is a very high-level view of my 30, 60, 90-day plan. And the rest is about, I don't need to share all the time. I'll start without sharing. And then I think when they join, the leaders also have a 1 or 2 pager to say, hey, these are the priorities we need to stay focused on.
The guys do not have slides, right? Or they do?
I don't know. I mean,
no.
they just, maybe they don't.
No, I don't think so.
Chris, Rich, sorry, it's pretty straightforward. There's no need for slides.
Okay.
Why don't we, Rich? Why don't we just run through the whole thing and see how it goes? And of course, I think Eric, you have not shared the slides yet, right? So we need to
keep them secret.
you need to send them to Rich.
I'm waiting for the ink to dry, to be honest with you. So.
Okay. Why don't we just run through what we have, and then Eric, you'll see. We'll see there where you have to fit in those 2 slides.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So also Chris, just so that you are aware, we are sort of live at the moment, even though there's no one that has joined the session because we are quite early.
Can you check? But can you see if somebody joins?
Yeah, I'll check on my interaction side, but there's no one that's online as yet. So I think maybe just in the interest of all of that, I won't play all the award videos and that if you're comfortable.
Yeah, but just start with everything so we can see how everything. Just it'd be good to see.
So you kind of get the flow.
Yeah.
Perfect. Not a problem. Let me just quickly get things ready to rock and roll this side. Okay. All right. So I'm going to sort of roll through the sequence as it would be. So I'll be dropping everybody backstage now, and then we'll get started.
Good, fine. Then I come in, I start doing my intro, and at some point I'm going to ask you for the slide, right? Not that one. We go straight to welcome. Yes, please eliminate the other one. Don't show that one, I'll kill you. Good. So then we do the thank you slide. I stay there for a moment, then I explain that we're going to have, the winners of the special program, and then I'm going to ask you to uncover those winners. And I guess there we go to the video.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So do you not want me to obviously go through those winners as yet?
Yeah, just show them a second so Eric can also see them.
Okay.
Just please
Okay, perfect.
don't please don't show that slide before. It's you just slipped in the winner slide for a second, so try not. Don't do that.
So when you say, yeah, I'd like to bring up my presentation, when you introduce that, do you want me to start on this thank you, or just have this sort of ready and then
the thank you? No, just go straight to thank you. So I'll be, I'm showing my face full screen, and then when I say, Rich, can you bring in, the slide? Then you go straight to this one. Please be careful with the next one, because that's where you see the winners.
100%. No problem. So yeah, so we will, like you say, now when you introduce the winners, I'll very briefly just play like 5 seconds of the video clip, and then I'll have it on the slide ready for you. So as you announce it.
Good. So then we have this slide. So then here I'm going to have a moment to explain, why everybody won the awards in this slide, and then I'm going to say, can we please uncover, the country, the best performing country, and then you show the video.
Okay, I just need to fix that slide. It wasn't like that on.
Yeah, we're going to put. Yeah, we're going to put all the other ones plus Italy. If not, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll fix that slide. That popped up like that. Okay.
Good. So, and after this, we go back to the thank you slide. Yeah. So, and then I just finish my message, and then I invite Eric on stage. And that's Eric when you pop up. So I'm just kind of gearing towards you. So I say, can we please have Eric, in our, on stage, and, Eric, your new leader, Eric, the floor is yours. And then I'll disappear and you stay here. And then we originally thought, no, the other. So good. And, but things you can't hear me. Can you hear me now, Eric? Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. But I can't hear Eric.
When I unmute myself, it works much better.
Much better. So you see the dynamic. I'm there, and then you pop up, and then I just disappear when I give you the floor, and then boom, it's you. And that's when I thought you were not going to use a slide, but if you're going to use a slide, you need to send them to Rich so that he can include them.
A couple of slides, but I will start without slides first, and then Rich, I'll ask you if you can share the slide later.
Okay, and then Eric, you're going to do your thing, and then you're going to at some point invite a few members, or you're going to invite Rachel, Maureen, Stefano, and Manuel. When you do that, then Rich, can you just show how that's going to pop in?
Yeah, so if we'll have you here, and then as you invite them all onto stage, we'll have them all on stage. We can either keep them on like this, and as each person does their segment, their little talk, we can highlight them. So perhaps what we do is when they're all on stage, if you're comfortable, we can have it all in this sort of view, and then we just highlight it as each person talks, or we can keep it as is like this. So you'll say, welcome, Rachel, it's great to have you here. We'd love to hear from you. And then we can pop Rachel in, for example, right? And then Rachel could, hand back to yourself. You can introduce, Stefano, for example. So are you happy with that sort of a flow?
Yeah, that's great.
You know who Rachel and Maureen are, right? I don't know if they have their names, their tags, or you just know their faces.
Yeah. So they'll have their names there. Just for example purposes. But yeah, so I'll pop them in as soon as as Eric introduces them.
Okay. And then Eric, it just goes back and forth. No, not back and forth. It goes, I think, I can't remember the order, Rachel, Moreno, whatever the order, and it ends up with you, and then it's you at the end, alone in screen to wrap it up.
I'll wrap it up just by saying that we're going to spend more time together in individual sessions. That's basically the fundamental message.
Yeah, I'm explaining just as in my intro, just saying, hey, guys, this is how we're structured this year. 45-minute plenary, and then as you know, you have this, the splits by hubs afterwards. So I kind of just mentioned that at the beginning, and maybe you just want to reinforce the fact that, hey, I don't know, whatever you want to say, we're gonna have an opportunity to meet a bit more now together, or whatever,
Yes.
whatever you want to say.
Excellent. And these are all Zoom sessions right after that, huh?
All the others are
Yes.
Zoom sessions, so no translations.
Because the first one is translated?
Yes, French,
Okay.
French, Spanish, and Italian are the three languages where we have people who struggle a little bit. But I guess I don't know if you were in the session. You were in the session. The leader said that, hey, I would rather have a very flexible Zoom than without translation and
No, I
the
much
people that
prefer
struggle.
Zoom
Yeah.
than, because this is not interactive at all here. It's like it's really
Indeed.
a presentation to myself here. So, but
Mm.
I just need to. I speak sometimes too fast, so I need to be careful with translation.
Indeed, be careful because they're going to struggle. I do the same. Yeah. Eric, we've kind of we talked about this, but now I think you visually see it more. Does all this flow well for you? You're comfortable with how we've set it up?
Yes, absolutely. It's all good.
Okay. So the
Do
only
we, remind me, Chris. So, Enrich, the chat is not activated, is it?
only for us.
So the chat on the right-hand side within this studio, it is activated and runs for us to communicate, and only us as people in the studio can communicate. The audience does not have access, or they cannot view any chat, any communications in here.
Good. And there's no pigeonhole for the first session. If you want to interact, is on the follow-up sessions. Maybe that's something, Chris, that you can highlight.
I will mention that at the beginning. Just saying, hey, the intention is that the interaction is a bit more intimate, and this is why we're leaving the interactions for the second half. So I mentioned that because, indeed, what I'm saying at the beginning is, hey, we've structured this just a little bit different than typically, and I just explained the rationale, what we're doing and why. So yes, people will know that the interaction comes afterwards.
Okay, Peggy, can you explain something to me? I have two invites in the calendar. One is 9 to 10:45, and one is 10 to 10:45. So is there a different link, or is all the same link?
Yeah, you stay here as a speaker. You stay here. The other is the total invite.
Connect to the other invite. I understand. Okay, thanks.
Nobody else struggled with mics and stuff. I know Rachel and Stefano struggled a bit last time. So because the reason why we also invited, we invited the other guys to come in at 9:30 just to ensure that mics and everything are working well. But I guess with you, Eric, it also was not a problem. So I don't know.
Well, no, yesterday I had a bit of a cold sweat because like an hour before I was supposed to be on the meeting, I lost complete internet in the house, which was fun.
Okay, that's good. That happens to the ICS leaders because that's exactly what happened to me. So I got cut off my town hall or my kickoff meeting 4 times in my first one. So that is common for ICS
it's a guy
leaders.
called Murphy. Every time you do something that shouldn't happen, he comes and he unplugs. Yes.
Indeed. Good.
Okay.
What else, Eric? Any questions, comments? I think it's pretty straightforward. Now the people are going to join. I guess when they join, the other 4, we just test mics, remind them, the flow.
We just prepare them on the flow that they know, and we kind of. I think the best would be for each of them to invite the next one, so that I don't have to jump in every time. That would be a bit choppy.
Yep.
So we can start. I can just take I can invite Rachel, and then we say, "Hey, Rachel, you invite Stefano, Maureen, and Maureen Manuel, for example." Or I don't know if there's a set. Is there a set order?
There's an order, and you messed it.
Yes. What is the order so that I don't mess it up?
I think
it's
Rachel,
Maureen.
Maureen.
Yeah, it's Rachel, Maureen, Stefano, Manuel.
Are you sure? I thought it was Maureen, Rachel, Stefano, Manuel.
That's what I've
I'm
got.
sure they're fine. Just
double check.
Just
Let me
stick
get
with one.
that right. At least the first one. I need to get the first one right.
Are you in the
Yeah,
office?
look, I mean,
What a
at the
weird
moment and
background.
on the agenda, we've got Rachel, Maureen, Stefano,
Okay.
Manuel.
You need to invite Rachel.
Okay, Rachel, Maureen, Stefano, Manuel, in that order.
Yeah, and Manuel
Rachel,
needs
Maureen,
to
Stefano,
go
yeah.
give back the word to you then.
And again, are you happy with keeping all of you on stage for that time and just highlighting whoever's talking? You happy with
I don't
that?
know if I need to be on stage, you know, because I don't
What
want
we
just to be there in my little window for 15 minutes on silent, you know.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, it is a very, very brief session. So, you know, what I can do is just, as long as each person knows who they hand in over to, then as soon as you've done that handover, I'll have everyone on stage. So, you kind of introduce the group. And then when you hand over to Rachel, I'll just highlight Rachel. Like, for example, if that was Rachel, I'll highlight Rachel for her 2 minutes. And then she can pass over to Maureen. And you can pass over to Stefano and so on.
Okay.
So then, like, they just obviously take focus and center screen.
That's good. This thing we used yesterday, do we need to use it today? The background that we have?
You're the
Is
only
anyone-
one with a green screen, so you're the only one who can use it.
Oh, my fantastic green. As of last Friday, I didn't have one, so I'm a happy owner of a green screen now that I use one.
Yeah, no, what they explained to us, it's pretty crappy when you don't have a green screen, and we don't have one. So the rest will not. We don't have it. So you can do whatever.
I don't
whatever you
need to have it.
prefer.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant.
Okay. And then, what I have done, Eric, I have dropped my email address in the chat there, just with regards to your presentation. So, I mean, you're welcome to forward it through to Peggy, and Peggy can get it through to me, or whatever's more convenient for you, just so that I can have it ready, for when you do call it up.
I'll do that over the next couple of minutes. I just need to put it in the background of the KOM thing. I need to find back.
And you're tweaking the Italy slide, right, Rich?
Yeah. I'm gonna fix that now as soon as we jump off here, just so that it's sorted.
Okay. Should we? I guess we can drop off and connect in 12 minutes when the other guys connect.
I'll go back in.
The
I'll come
mics.
back in. Peggy, Chiara, Barb, do you have any questions or any comments or any piece of advice?
No, be careful with your camera, Eric,
In what way?
because you are we are watching you half of yourself. Yes.
When I'm like here, I don't know if you see. I hope you see what I see, because it would be like.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Here's my head is in my little
Yes.
box.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a post-it yesterday on my desk, which was "Stand here, talk slowly," and I spent my time moving around, talking fast. So it was complete failure.
Okay. Do it in the other way then.
Okay, I'll fix
Good.
that.
When
Good.
you are,
Right.
Eric, when you
We'll
are
see you just now.
speaking, do you see the chat?
I see the private chat. Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Okay.
Peggy's going to remind you to speak slower then.
And come back in front of the camera and slow down. Yes.
You're going to receive a few of those.
Okay.
Okay.
Good, guys.
Great.
Let's speak in
See you
10
now.
minutes.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
Peggy, I am here. I'll be with you in a second. There's no one else that has logged in yet. I'll pop us back on as soon as they start joining.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Folks, just checking in. We haven't had anyone else come in as yet.
Okay. Peggy, I'm going to send you
so-
my 2 slides because Rich, I lost your email address when I disconnected.
Okay, that's no problem. You can send it to Peggy and she'll forward it through to me. No problem. Okay, so if everyone's all right, I'm just going to keep us all off screen because, like I say, we are technically live. So as people do come on, I'll very briefly throw everybody on and we'll just quickly test to make sure that their mics are working, and then I'll put everyone backstage if you're happy with that.
Yes.
Cool. So if there's any communications, I am watching the chat bar and I'll just respond there. Cool. Thank you. Hi, welcome, Maureen.
Hi, Rich.
How are you?
Yeah, good. Seems to have a bit of a lighting issue going on here. Do we need to have a specific virtual background for this call?
No, not necessarily. When you do have you are able to upload one. However, if you don't have a green screen, it's very, very, very tacky. It doesn't look good at all. So yeah, you're welcome just to have it as you are.
Is there a way to put a virtual screen or not at all?
Hi, Rachel. How are you?
Hi, Rachel. Rachel?
So
it doesn't look like she hears us.
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't hear anything.
Okay.
Why can I not hear anything?
Rachel in the chat here.
And Rich, if there's a way to put a virtual background, that would be super. I'm going to close.
Rich, what do I do if I can't hear anything?
Check your chat.
Your mouth is moving, but.
Morning, Rachel.
Stefano needs the link.
So Maureen, we can put a background, but if you don't have a green screen, it doesn't work really well.
Oh. Hi, Eric.
Hello.
Okay.
Should I log out and come back in again, Rich?
Is there anything you can do in the cam and mic settings?
Oh, hello. Good
Hi,
morning.
Manuel.
Hi, welcome, Manuel.
Can someone speak? Then I can test it. If nobody speaks, I can't really test.
Hi, can you hear us, Rachel?
No.
Yeah.
Checking, testing.
No. Singing.
Okay, I think I've got it now. Can you hear me?
Rachel,
Yes.
can
Yeah,
you
we
hear?
can hear you.
Yeah, okay, all right. Sorry.
Good.
Fantastic.
Stefano, you're
Brexit.
in the dark. The screen is completely black.
Stefano, if you can hear us there, you may just need to check that your there we go.
Yeah.
We can
I
see you.
think- Manuel, I think your camera is not centered. You might want to adjust your camera.
Is that okay? Can you?
Stefano, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me? No.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes,
We can hear you nice and clear.
Okay.
Okay, fantastic. So we're going to keep this very brief, just because the studio is live at the moment. We don't have anyone that's logged on, but obviously this is a live stream, so we're just going to keep it brief. We just wanted to make sure that your camera and mics are working, and we'll very briefly just explain to you the flow so that you are comfortable.
So I still can't get the sound through my headphones. You're now coming through my laptop. Not the headphones.
But we hear you well.
So if you are you able to try your settings there, Rachel?
Yeah, I did all 4.
and
the only one that
picking
works
up on
is the one that's on the speaker. Can I just see? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, but it is true that you can't. As you have the setting now, it does not filter all of the background noise. So I don't know if the dog was in your house, but
it's not in my house.
Yeah.
Okay.
that was here. Unfortunately,
so it's just coming. It's just coming through my not through my headset.
Yeah, but it's perfect. We hear you well.
Okay.
So if you don't have a dog in your house, then you're fine.
Fortunately, I won't be on screen during this, so at least you don't need to worry about that. Okay, so just very briefly, we're going to run through the flow for Rachel, Maureen, Stefano, Manuel. Your session will come after Eric has had his sort of presentation and his talk. So we'll be starting off with Christian. He'll do his presentation. We'll be presenting a few awards and that. He will be introducing Eric. Eric will also have his presentation and his talk. And then at 11:15, Eric will be introducing all of you. So what we'll do is Eric will be introducing obviously the team. I will bring all of you onto screen to start off.
Why did you say quarter to 11? Is that what you meant? It's not even that, right? It's about 10:30, right? I'm going to be 15 minutes. I don't know, Eric, if you're going to be 15 minutes.
Yeah, I was looking at the wrong schedule. So you're right. It is 10:30. So essentially, I'll be bringing you on. We will have Eric. I see. Okay, he's not on yet. So if I was taking Eric's place for now, I would.
Eric is there.
I'm here. Can't you see?
Oh, there.
In that little
Sorry,
box.
there we go. There we go. I do see you. So Eric will be, introducing the team. I'll have you all on stage on the right-hand side. And then what we'll do is, as he's going to be introducing Rachel first. So as he introduces Rachel, I will bring you on, and then Rachel, I will highlight you for the section.
So you changed the order because it was Maureen first.
I told you so.
Yeah. Okay.
It can be Maureen.
We're just debating that, Rachel. We can't remember what was the order. So I don't know. However you want.
So okay, then would you like to stick to the?
No, I'm fine going after.
It's fine. Leave it as it is. It's just you said it differently.
It doesn't make much difference. It's like it's just like pass it on to someone. There's no specific order.
Good. Rachel first.
Yep.
Okay.
Rachel,
so
Maureen,
Rachel first.
Stefano, Manuel. Correct.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. And then essentially we're not going to go back to Eric and then back and forth. So Rachel, when you finish, you'll hand straight over to Maureen. Maureen, you'll hand over to Stefano. Stefano to Manuel, and Manuel, when you finish, you'll hand back to Eric. So I'll just bring the next person up onto stage. I'm assuming there's not going to be an interaction between each person. So between Rachel and Maureen, will you have an interaction, or are you just going straight into that your talk?
Straight into the talk, and then I'll just hand over to Maureen.
Okay,
Yep.
fantastic. So as soon as you introduce Maureen, I will bring Maureen onto stage and take Maureen will take full screen and you can start your talk.
Yeah.
Maureen, the background doesn't look great because you don't have the green screen. I don't know if
Is
how
a
you
green
want.
screen like a physical green screen, or is that like
Yes.
okay. Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Oh no, I'll adjust it.
If
Just
you
that
mind,
yesterday it looked quite nice.
yeah, because they had the green screen.
Yeah.
Point taken.
Is there a meaning for the French flag in the back? Is it a special message for someone?
Oh no, I'm in my daughter's bedroom because my husband has the office, and so I'm the nomad, right? Is that
It's all good.
Okay, so are you all comfortable? Are there any questions before I drop everyone backstage and we start getting things ready on our side?
So Maureen, you pass over to Stefano to Manu. When you finish, you pass it back to Eric.
And are we
Eric
trying to close at 11:45? Is that right?
More or less, yes.
Ish. Okay. Yeah.
And we don't have slides, right? I mean, I don't
No.
have slides. Yeah. Okay, good.
And guess 3 minutes.
You still have like
2.5.
2.5. Okay.
Between 2.5 and 3.
I didn't time myself. I have to be honest. It's
okay. I never do either.
I'm kidding, Eric. Approx.
And then, yeah, just with regards to any communication, if you've got any questions or you need to make contact, there is the chat bar on the right-hand side, because obviously we won't have you on screen as it'll be a live event. So if you need to ask anything or bring anything to attention, please drop it in the chat bar. We'll all have access to that. The audience won't see anything there, so you don't need to worry about that. It's strictly for us in studio.
Okay. So we stay connected and you send us backstage.
That's correct. Yeah. I mean, you're all welcome to stay in the room now. This is the live room, so I'll be dropping everyone backstage, and then when you're ready to kick off, I will bring you on as per the agenda.
So and we're having that kind of 2-minute fancy thing at the beginning. Is that what they see? The countdown welcome.
Yeah, they're gonna see first the welcome, then they're gonna see the countdown, then they're gonna see a video, and then I pop up.
You sound much better, Chris.
I feel much better.
You look better too.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm back. So, and Rich, we just follow you lead? Are you waiting for me to say go, or when at the time at the specific time it just gets unleashed and then I start?
Yeah, so I'll be taking. You'll see. I'll start playing the welcome with the music at 10:02. At I think it's 10 to 10 CET. So that'll count down, and then just before 10 o'clock, I'll be playing the 2-minute countdown, the video, and then as soon as the Baxter video is finished, you'll be on screen to start.
Perfect. Good.
We're still not allowed to know who won the awards. Is that still the policy?
Yeah, but you've never been so close. No.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Is everyone comfortable? Can I drop everyone backstage? Or are there any last comments?
Yep. Nope.
Good.
Fantastic.
Bye.
All right. Good luck, everyone. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Bye, Rich.
Thank you.
Thanks.
good morning and welcome to our ICS and Digital Health kickoff meeting. So hope everybody's doing well, everybody's safe, and that you've all had a good start of the year. Now this is an important week. It's kickoff meeting, a week in which, across the whole region, we typically reflect upon our previous year. We celebrate our successes and accomplishments, and of course, and very importantly, we prepare for our 2022. And of course, and for that, it all starts with understanding the direction, strategy, and priorities. And for this, we had the EMEA plenary session yesterday afternoon with Cristiano, with Joe, and other leaders. We're going to have also this afternoon the business unit regional sessions, which of course I strongly suggest you participate in these meetings. And of course, with all of that information, with those insights, it's all about working and preparing and planning for the execution of this year. And here's when we have all of the subsequent meetings and the rest of the week with with the BU specific, country specific meetings, as well as ICS meetings. So this is a very important week every year, and of course this one in particular, as we're going through a lot of very important changes as a company, and changes that of course no doubt will support accelerating our journey and the mission of us as a company. Now, this morning is about ICS, right? This about ICS and digital health. It's about our journey, our team, our organization, and we've decided with Eric to structure this meeting a bit different than other years. So we're going to start this morning with a shorter 45-minute plenary. So it's all of us together in this setting. I'll start with a small introduction from my side. And then we're going to hear from Eric, as well as we're going to be hearing from other members of the ICS and digital health leadership team. So the way we're setting this up is this plenary is going to be a bit less interactive. Actually, it's not going to be interactive. So it's a shorter version in which you're going to be hearing some messages from us. But then we're going to be splitting into small 30-minute meetings. And we're dividing ourselves by the different geographical hubs. And we'll have also a fourth meeting with all of the digital health team members as well. And the intent, of course, of these smaller groups is to be able to have a more interactive session in which, all of you are going to have a chance to meet Eric. And of course, Eric will also have a chance to meeting you as well. So that's when we're going to have this more sort of interactive session after this short plenary. So this is the plan for the morning. And as for my introduction today, I actually only have one key message for all of you. And Rich, can we go to the next slide, please? This is my message, and this will be my one slide. It's a big thank you for all of your hard work in 2021. Thank you for for the commitment to your work. Thank you for for the implications of of that work, that the implications that has to to our customers, to our patients, and to our entire journey. And thank you very much for because of that, all of the accomplishments that we've had during last year. When this time of the year, you typically look back, of course, at what you've done in the previous year. And as I did that exercise a few weeks ago, I was I was honestly very impressed about all the accomplishments and all of the things that we've achieved during last year. It's really, when you put it all together, it's a very impressive list of activities and accomplishments. And if you think about, for example, our market access journey, we've hit a lot of key milestones in that journey, and particularly in very specific priority areas such as home care or sustainability, and digital health reimbursement, which is a very tricky area to tackle. And we've also hit a lot of multiple milestones actually in many other programs and activities that we've done to support driving not only access but also even penetration of some of our key innovations. In 2021, we've also, through our strategic accounts teams, we've signed 87 contracts across the region. And these contracts, these Baxter contracts, had a size of about $180 million. That's the size of a small BU. And that is the level of of contracts that we've signed, and we've estimated an 8.5% growth rate in the first 12 months of these contracts. So big sizable contracts with a very, on average, very meaningful growth rate. So that, absolutely very important milestone that we've hit last year as well. Think about digital health, and the whole journey we have of driving and sometimes supporting the development and the commercialization and the execution of our digital health portfolio. And we've done a lot of things, not only supporting some of the pilots of global solutions, and we're thinking of the TrueView platform pilots and the ShareSource analytics platform pilots, but we've also been driving a few pilots of solutions that we've actually developed within this team. And I'm referring to, for example, the telemedicine solution to do train PD patients, or expanding our Versia platform. We've also been also expanding existing solutions that we've had some time, such as ICNet, and we've signed meaningful contracts. We had a very important go live as well last year, and a lot of progress that we've also worked on driving more depth and consistency on how we execute digital health solutions moving forward. And then finally, in 2021, I think about our long list of accomplishments. Obviously, I think about our journey to to really driving those long-term partnership agreements with key strategic accounts, and based on the value solutions that we offer, and these are focused fundamentally around the optimizing or optimization of care pathways. And in last year, we've signed 6 contracts, so not as many as we had planned for, but we had another 50 contracts when we closed the year, which are ongoing negotiations and that we are pushing for. And I'm very confident that we'll be signing these throughout throughout this year as well. And here together, as we've done also with digital health, we put a lot of effort around how can we provide more focus and more consistency on driving these sort of activities and partnerships with our accounts moving forward. So that broader and more robust framework to drive this in a consistent way across the region has also been one of the things that we've started last year, and some an ongoing effort as well. So as again, and I'm not going to go with a long list of accomplishments. I said I was going to show only one slide. This is a slide. It's a big thank you. Thank you for all of the accomplishments that we've done. I'm very much impressed by them. Some of you might remember we've implemented a very special program last year to recognize some of the most relevant or accomplishments or contracts that we've signed during the year. And it's hard to select a few, but the program that we've implemented required us to identify a few individual winners, and actually not only a few individual winners, but also one country as best performing country of 2021. So I'm happy that we're going to be announcing these at this moment. So we're going to start first with the individual winners. So Rich, can you just share with us who are those winners? Good. So there we have the winners, 5 winners, and I just going to make a few comments on why we've recognized these 5 individuals for fantastic accomplishments throughout last year. Let me start with Annelise in her role as ICS lead for the Benelux. Annelise has done a fantastic job managing what very big challenge we had last year as national authorities in Belgium wanted to drive price decreases in both medication delivery and pharma and nutrition, and very aggressive -20, -40% price decreases. And all of the work that she's done, obviously with support of other colleagues, has really resulted in avoiding almost $5 million impact to Baxter that goes all the way down to profit immediately. So it was a significant saving and a significant impact to Baxter. Very complex to manage. It started the whole summer season. Everybody was on holidays. Very complex project. Very meaningful achievement. So Annelise, congratulations for that award and that recognition. Rob, so Rob, strategic account management in the UK, Ireland, fantastic job. Rob has signed very important contracts with the key private accounts in the UK and Ireland. So we've had a contract with Spire, over $3 million worth of annual sales, 45% growth. BMI Circle, almost $3 million worth of contracts, annual sales, 33% growth. Nuffield, almost 2 million, over 30% growth. So we've got big contracts, big growth, very relevant introductions to these contracts. So very meaningful accomplishments. And Rob, congratulations for that award. Then we have Jean-Christophe and Arnaud, which are two people within the strategic accounts team in France. And this team has actually, as a collective group, have signed 50 contracts in France, across a few private accounts and all the rest within national and regional GPOs for a total worth of $42 million and 30% growth in the first 12 months. Very meaningful collective effort, all of these impacting 400 hospitals. So very, very impressive work from the team. And, we had to identify a few, individuals within, and this is why Jean-Christophe, we've identified you or selected you as a winner, fundamentally because of your work in the Uniachat and Ramsay contracts, of course, of your efforts and support in other contracts as well, and Arnaud, for your leadership not only within your old team but also for your contributions to the contracts in Unicancer and Vivalto, which have also been very meaningful contracts for France as well. So congratulations to both of you. And then finally, Craig, fantastic job done by Craig. At last year with your focus of market access in UK and Ireland, Craig has driven 3 EMBS contract renewals. So EMBS stands for the Emergency Medicine Buffer Stocks, which we've had in the UK for IV and PD solutions, and these are very meaningful contracts. So it's above 8 million in total, most of that impacting last year, 70% profit, so very highly profitable, very complex, very lengthy negotiations in a space which we don't actually have too much experience. So it's a fantastic job. So Craig, congratulations for your recognition as well. So with that, we have the 5 winners. Let's go now to see who has been, who's the country of the year that we've selected for 2021. So Rich, can you please help us reveal that? Good. Nice video, short. So Italy has been picked as country of the year, and it's hard to pick a country. Actually, there are several countries who have had very meaningful accomplishments throughout last year. But Italy was recognized, no doubt, because through Stefano's leadership and of course all of the great team working with him, they have developed a very comprehensive, very well structured, and very well balanced plan for 2021, which they've executed very well with a lot of discipline, great metrics behind it. There's a very well built and executed plan, which is of course what drove all of the very meaningful accomplishments and performance that Italy had, and no doubt that the contribution that our ICS team had in Italy for the overall performance of the country. So this is why we've selected Italy as the country of the year for 2021. So congratulations to not only Stefano but all of the team under Stefano's leadership. So with that, congratulations to all of our winners. The corresponding follow-ups will be done, of course, to ensure that the individuals receive your very well-deserved prizes, and those are follow-ups, of course, that will be done after this meeting. So, Rich, if we go back to the thank you slide, I promised I'd be sharing only one slide, and this is the slide that I wanted to share today, and the main message, as I said, that I want to deliver to all of you, which is a true and very sincere thank you for 2021. But not only for the accomplishments that have been many, as I mentioned, but for how we've got there, right? And the teamwork, the collaboration, and all of the learnings that all of us have had by working collectively as a team. thank you for the resilience, for when facing, a lot of the challenges that we've also had, both internal and external last year. And, thank you for the great moments, the fun moments, which, I for sure had, and I'm sure that all of us have had moments of that as well. So, big thank you to all of you for, for your commitment to ICS and, ICS and digital health journey, and for such a great 2021. So, and as you know, ICS and digital health organization and our journey will evolve. As Baxter, as a company overall, will also evolve. We're in a very special moment in the beginning of a next phase of this journey, as we are going to be leveraging, the combined portfolio with our legacy Hillrom portfolio as well. And in particular, as we drive and accelerated connected care. And you've heard a lot of that in yesterday's meeting, and you're going to continue to hear a lot of that as well. And ICS and digital health team will no doubt have a critical role in this journey. So very exciting times ahead of this team. I'd like to welcome at this moment. Why don't we just take out the slide, and I'll welcome Eric, to the stage as well, or to the virtual stage, as Eric steps in as your new leader. And Eric will be driving this this next phase of the journey with all of you. And of course, we've been spending quite some time together these last weeks. So Eric has been learning about a lot about you, what you stand for, the activities in which you've been focused on, and Eric now will be sharing a few words with you. And of course, as I said before, you're going to have the opportunity to meet him in a smaller group a bit later after the plenary session. So with this, I just wish you all a very successful 2022. Very confident of your successes. And Eric, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christian, and good morning, everyone. The very first thing I want to do is to congratulate the award winners that we had today, this morning. So Annelise, Rob, Jean-Christian, Jean-Christophe, Arnaud, and Craig, Stefano, and Italian team, congratulations. I know these are moments that you want to share and celebrate together somewhere, as opposed to being remote. Remote has some benefits, but celebrating award remotely is it misses a little bit of a taste. So I'm looking forward to meeting you and celebrating your achievements and learning more about what you did, you and your teams. Christian, you started with one slide, which was your slide, which is thank you. But what I want to make sure is, like, we recognize also a thank you for you, Christian. As you mentioned, over the last few weeks, I think we started actually interacting in October, end of October. I'm coming from Hillrom, as you all know. I was on the leadership team for EMEA, and the leadership team of Baxter and the leadership team of EMEA started to interact. We interacted on three key topics. The first was the preparation of day one, the preparation of the integration, and then what we call value capture, which is how do we bring value from both companies and make something greater than the sum of the two. And through these different sessions, I learned a lot about Baxter. I knew a bit about Baxter, not that much, but no, I learned a lot, and I learned about the organization, the capabilities, the solutions you have, and I learned about the ICS team. And the ICS team, which is this organization that cuts across all the different BUs and brings this whole Baxter together, is something that I'm very impressed with. I've learned more in details with Christian the achievements, the structure, the talent you have in the organization, and the achievements that these awards just highlighted. And I think you can all be very proud of what you build. And Christian, a lot of that pride goes to you. And I really wanted to start with a big thank you to you, because without you, we wouldn't have built where we are today. And as Christian and Cristiano introduced yesterday, we're now moving to a next step of the journey. And I want to touch on that next step of the journey, and its big ambition and a mission. So I think we can use three words. We can use an ambition, we can use a mission, and we can use an invitation. I think as an ambition is to say, we want to move to connected care. And that's the mission. The mission for ICS is, it's not going to be an exclusive ICS topic, but the expectation is ICS is going to drive and make it a reality across the organization, which is a fantastic mission and ambition. But many of you know there's a a fine line between a vision and hallucination, and that's something that that we've been working on for the last few years in KOM. Is like, we have this ambition, let's go there, but the path has still have to be defined. You all know that we have some part of the portfolio. We don't have all the portfolio. We have some of the technologies. We don't have all the technologies. We have some understanding of the funding and the market, but we don't have it all. So the invitation is for each of you. We're going to build that journey. We didn't receive a book of recipe. We receive an ambition. And as an ICS team, we're going to build on who you are today and what Christian has built together with you so far to define the next step for Baxter. Cristiano will attend some of our meetings moving forward, and he will reinforce that message. It's an ambition. We don't have all the answers, and we're going to have to make it up. So the invitation comes from me, comes from Cristiano. Like, let's grab this mission, let's grab this vision, and let's make connected care reality. So this is the main mission that I have, and I wanted to, I had a chance to meet the leadership team, introduce myself, but I wanted to introduce myself a little bit to everyone. And as Christian said, this is not an interactive session, so I don't have much interaction yet, but that's why we designed this morning smaller sessions in a more usual setting where we can exchange with no specific clear agenda, but just to get to know you, get to know what you're proud of, your key achievements of the last few months, and allow you to ask as many questions. But I wanted to kind of give you a foundation of who I am. So I'll start personally. So I'm Belgian from origin, speak French. I left Belgium a long time ago, but I live in the UK, in France, and now I'm based in the Netherlands. I have 4 young children, and they're all here in the either the French school or the international school in the Netherlands. My journey in KOM has kind of lasted 15 years before moving into Baxter. And if you look at these 15 years, for you to understand a bit more about who I am and what I do, I've been in many different functions. I started coming from GE Healthcare. I started in operations in service with a mission which was KOM was coming together as a European entity, coming from different countries. And the mission was, can we build a European service operation, bring all the best that we have in the countries and build standards across the organization to drive quality for customers and to drive scalability of service. That's what I did for the first 3 years. And then I received another mission, which was about R&D. So at the time we stalled in R&D in KOM, and it was a time where we were a bed company and there was no new bed coming out basically. So we stalled, and I was asked, can you kind of restart this machine and launch products on time, on budget, and on price? Brand new environment for me. But it was very exciting. I learned a lot. So we had a few centers in Europe and one in Asia, and I was running them all, and we got this back on track. And every time we got something kind of either back on track or we build on a foundation, it's not about me, it's about the team that's there, all the capabilities and how we can, accelerate those capabilities. Which leads me to a next chapter, which has been after this R&D turnaround. My next discovery was manufacturing and supply chain. So we have a big factory in France, in the west of France, Vannes in Brittany, for those who know. It's about 500 people there building beds, and we were losing competitiveness. We were losing because competition was moving all their factories towards Eastern Europe. And a factory in France is not the cheapest model. So we had a mission, which is, can we turn this factory around and build in France while being able to compete with the cheaper countries? And again, starting an environment I didn't know, but again, with a great team, utilizing all the capabilities and not just turning the factory around, but within 3 years, make it the best factory we have in the company, which still today is high performing. So we're actually reaching 50,000 beds this year, and we were like half of that 3-4 years ago, so a significant turnaround there. And that's when I got my next mission. My next mission was to move from operations to commercial. So that's when, and I have still a lot to learn there. So be prepared. A lot of you are going to teach me how to navigate the commercial world. But I became the general manager of the Benelux at a time where we had done the acquisitions for surgical and for Welch Allyn. So This bed company, as I described yesterday, was becoming a medical device company, expanding into the operating room, expanding into frontline care, and a new organization, very similar change to what's happening in Baxter. Sometimes you go vertical, sometimes you go by country. At that time, we went by country, and I took this Benelux cluster. And the opportunity for me was to start engaging on this value, talking to customers about, it's not about buying products, it's about what's the right decision for you and how we're going to help you succeed with your objectives. And turning, for example, some bed deals into long-term service deals, where it's not just about the bed, but it's about the solutions that a connected bed can generate. So I learned a lot. I learned what works, and I learned a lot about what doesn't work, which is always more interesting. And based on that, based on its experience on first, steps into connected beds, I started to evolve towards a marketing position, which is how can we make these connected beds a story for the region? And I became, I hope you get familiar with it now, PSS, FLC, GSS, or PSS, the historical business of the patient room. I became the marketing for Europe. And about 2-3 years ago, we created the EMEA region, and then I took the role of marketing for the region for the full portfolio to see how can we accelerate this connected care story within the new organization and the new geography. So if you listen to this, and again, it's not about me, but it's about the journey of transformation and what you can expect from me, which is, I love transformation. I love, all working for a greater purpose. Objectives and deliverables are super important, but I love to have a greater purpose. I love to have a greater purpose like we now all share, which is how we're going to enable connected care within Baxter. That's all shared from this day. That's all shared greater purpose. Whatever your function is within the ICS, we're all going to have to associate ourselves to that greater purpose. And then we're going to split into small slices. We're all going to take a piece of it for ourselves, and we're going to execute. But it's really important we all associate ourselves to something which is larger than our role and larger than our team. So that's what I wanted to share in terms of introduction, so that you understand a little bit more about who I am and who I'm not. So I haven't spent 15 years in marketing. I haven't spent 15 years in any role, but I spent 15 years in Hillrom across a broad variety of roles. Rich, if I could ask you to share a couple of slides that I have. So the first one is something you've seen yesterday, and that's our departure point. We're on a mission. We have to figure out how we're going to enable connected care in EMEA, and that's a departure point. This is a page that Joe has shared a couple of times inside of the organization and outside with investors, which is what is our framework for connected care. And if you were yesterday on the first day of the kickoff, I was explaining something extremely similar that we utilized to start defining our first steps within Hillrom, which is what is connected care. And it typically starts for us as a Hillrom company where we come from, or for Baxter where we come from. It starts with what we have. And what we have is devices. And the first step is how do we make these devices smarter? Smarter in the way that they can generate data and integrate data into the customer environment. But data is useless if it doesn't turn into some kind of insight. So how do we then combine those pieces of data to create insights that will add value to the caregiver to make the right decisions? And then how do we share and circulate these insights to make sure that someone receives it in a very relevant way without distraction and the best person for the best decision? Look at this slide, all of you, and make it yours. Because now we need to figure out what it means for Baxter and EMEA, and we're going to do that together. As I said, there's no recipe. This is our departure point, and we're on a mission, and every single one of you is going to bring some value. I'm very inclusive in the way I work. I don't come here with like, this is what we do, off we go. We're going to figure out this together. You're all going to kind of participate, and I'm going to learn a lot from you, and we're going to learn a lot from each other across the journey. If we can move to the next page, Rich, please. What you see here is a very high level, how I see myself for the next 30, 60, 90 days. And while this is my 30, 60, 90 days, I'll have the same ask, make this slide yours, because you're going to participate. So the first 30 days is I want to understand, I want to meet you, I want to spend time with you. I know that we have some limitations, but we'll find time. But I want to understand and learn. I want to understand from the four different pillars of the ICS, where who's who, meet the people, so that it's not just names or faces on the screen, but we actually create a relationship. What are the capabilities and what are the interdependencies? Interdependencies are important to me. I don't think that any of us like a lot of dependence. We don't want to be super dependent of someone telling us what to do. Completely independence has got limitations. Working in your own bubble is great sometimes, but it's very limiting. And the best model is interdependence. So how everyone's success depends on each other, building on everybody's strengths. And that's what I want to understand from you all is what are our interdependencies and what are the strengths we will bring to the overall mission. Then I'd like to then peel the onion towards what are the actual tangible priorities, objectives, achievements, and more important, learnings. Something we did well, and what did we learn when it didn't go as planned. So because learning from the experience is extremely important. And then I'd like to understand what is the current departure point. I'm very familiar with the HEROM portfolio. I have everything to learn when it comes to the Baxter portfolio, but I'd like to understand what is our departure point. What do we have? What is tangible? What is not? What is about to be launched? What is not? So that we can really talk about what is real and what is aspirational. Because as much as I do that, salespeople, they need to have tangible solutions to sell, not just nice aspiration for the future. So that's my first kind of 30 days, and I'll dig into this, and I will most likely create teams to work together to build that. The next step will be understand the internal and outside view. So from the inside and from the outside, what do we mean by connected care? And I will need you, all your connections and all your experience and knowledge. What do we know from the healthcare authorities? What do we know from our customers? What I call the players here could be competition, could be other companies, could be potential partners. And then the Baxter stakeholders is like, what do the BUs expect from connected care? What do the countries expect from connected care? So that we have this overview of how can we help and where can we be relevant. And the last phase will be the choices we will make. So choices is like, what we do and what we don't do, and how we operate, in kind of the governance of what will we do less of, more of, something will start, something will stop. And that's something we'll define over the 36 90 days. So this is my plan, high level, but consider this your plan because I'm not going to go through this plan all by myself. So again, I will have a very inclusive approach. So Rich, thank you for the slide. So what I'd like to do next is to introduce to the stage, let's call it this stage, I like it, Christian, Rachel, Maureen, Stefano, and Manuel. Because what we'd like to do for each of them is to share a little bit with you the direction of 22, give you, despite the fact that we go into this major transformation of integrating HEROM, we can't, lose the ball. I mean, we need to keep our eyes on the ball, and we need to, make sure we don't lose any credibility and continue on the achievements. So I'll pass it on to Rachel and the other members of the team, and I'll see you back at the end of the session. Rachel, thank you.
So good morning, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. So I'm going to talk to you about the priorities for the Northern Hub in 2022. So yesterday, I think you all heard about advancing strategy together, and that really is key to the Northern Hub team. And that's very much our focus because we're trying to be the partner of choice to build back better across all the different solutions that we provide. So it's very much partnering with our healthcare organizations to build back better after COVID, which we know has had quite an impact on the various healthcare organizations. So when we look across the various strategic pillars, I feel the strategic capabilities that sit in each one of our 4 pillars puts us in the best position to really assist healthcare organizations. So if we briefly look at market access and the focus that they're going to be looking at, they're going to continue on looking and supporting PD Game Changer. But then also from a sustainability perspective, this is becoming increasingly important, in particular within the Northern Hub. We're going to be spending time supporting gas capture, for example, but also preparing the businesses for increased weighting around sustainability that we're seeing in tenders. So, for example, in the UK, from April, 10% of tender weighting is going to be weighted on sustainability. So it's critical that we prepare the organisation to support that. Also then looking at license ready to use drugs. This is another area for us. You know, if people aren't quite sure what this is, a lot of time is wasted at the bedside by the nurses mixing together drugs, where we are able to provide pre-mixed drugs, which would really be efficient and effective for people to use. So the market access team are going to be really working to support the business units around the education and awareness of that. And then finally, you heard about the emergency medicine buffer stock. So this is very much a contract working with government to ensure that they prioritise and have sufficient stock builds for critical codes that are needed in crisis, such as the pandemic. So this particular contract that we have, it's across IV, PD, as well as acute fluids. It's been around for about 3 years. It's just over $8 million, so it's significant. And we continue to work with our government affairs team to ensure that we continue with that contract. Moving on to strategic accounts, this is similar in terms of the focus for this year as last, but there's some additions there. So it's very much around driving mix and market share across One Baxter contracts. It's increasing our prices where appropriate because we've also had some increase in our costs, but it's then leveraging that additional part critically with the addition of Hillrom. So that portfolio that we now have in our bag, but also the relationships that Hillrom have and vice versa. So it's really quite an interesting and exciting time. Then when we look at our digital health team, they continue to support around the new product launches. So TrueView Connect, TrueView Therapy Management, as well as Versia, ShareSource, Teledoc. These are just some of the digital health focus that will be within the Northern Hub. And then you move on to our value solutions. Now, this is the critical pillar for me. And the reason I say that is because it touches on all 4 pillars that are needed to deliver these long-term strategic partnerships that have a commercial value to our business. So this is very much looking at clinical pathways. And in the Northern Hub, we're going to be focusing on CKD, OPAT, fluids, and advanced surgery procedures, where we look at the clinical pathway, we take the data, and there's some real similarities you hear from Eric around the connected care piece, but we take the data, we review that data, we provide the insights and then the recommendations in terms of how to improve those workflows, those clinical pathways, and how to make it more efficient and effective. So then when you start to hear about connected care, it becomes really exciting if you add that in to how we can move this forward further. So when I think about the Northern Hub, I think it's a really exciting time for us. We have a really important role to play for the businesses. We are a commercial part of the organisation that can deliver immense value. So I'm very excited for 2022 and what it will bring. And I have absolute confidence in my team in terms of delivering success here. So with that, I'll pass over to Maureen.
Hi, everyone. So it's great to be part of the ICS kickoff this year and welcome everyone. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Maureen and I joined Baxter in November, leading the central hub for ICS in Western Europe. So Integrated Care Solutions is really the one Baxter team, and we were set up to position Baxter as a strategic partner to healthcare systems. So everyone is aware of the challenges in healthcare delivery and, needing to treat more and more patients, tackling as well the backlog that we are all currently facing. So as a major supplier in the industry, we have a real role to play in supporting providers and payers to effectively treat our populations. And really ICS is at the juncture of that transition. So instead of focusing on, selling medication, devices, equipment, we can really support healthcare systems by leveraging the full scale of the Baxter and now the Hillrom portfolios to improve care delivery. So with our 4 pillars, and Rachel, I completely agree with you, we're really well positioned to do this. So our first pillar is strategic account management, and here our teams provide the frameworks and the the frameworks, the expertise to not only grow our relationships but also expand into services. So the team is directly tapped into customers and they work with them every day, and that's really a connection that we're going to start to leverage more and more in 2022 to ensure that we have a local relevance of anything we do in ICS. As well, as we evolve our offering, we'll be dependent on that team to understand the procurement landscape and to eventually commercialize our offering. So then market access is our second pillar, and there it's really around understanding the fundamentals of healthcare and equipping systems with the information not only about one intervention, but the entire care pathway and how it impacts patient outcomes and cost of care. So, payers have all of the care of the population in their hands, and they're never going to understand all the disease states, all the interventions, their costs, their relative benefits, etc. And so we really help them compare alternatives and then make sound decisions. We're going to continue doing that in 2022, especially in the fields of renal care, clinical nutrition, and then digital solutions as well. Value solutions, our third pillar. So here the challenge is really to balance the immediate needs of the business units. And I think everyone's been feeling that, so business units want to stabilize market share, they want to grow, but we also need to look at the long-term transformation that's occurring in healthcare. So in the near term, we're going to be building out the logistics, ICNet, compounding services, but also exploring the broader patient pathway and connected care solutions. So finally, digital health. So that's our fourth pillar. And if you, as you understood, if you were all on the kickoff meeting yesterday for EMEA, connected care is going to be taking a big and growing part in our portfolio. And actually, if you look at the digital capabilities, across Baxter, across Hillrom, they're very strong. And our digital health experts will really be driving the technical discussions that are required for us to play in that space. They will also be the connection between, the customer needs and then the technical specifications that address these, also taking into account, the broader hospital information system. So as we modernize, this team is going to be leading the charge in terms of customer delivery, and that will be a true competitive advantage. So finally, a word about culture for this year. So at ICS, we're the One Baxter team. We handle strategic accounts. We interact with national healthcare systems. And that also means that we have a big responsibility. We really need to raise the bar in terms of, external focus, customer focus, and not accept the status quo when it comes to execution. So my team's already been told, to be honest, to minimize internal work where possible, to really accelerate into 2022 with the customers and stakeholders at the heart of what we do. We really need to focus 100% on what matters. So, manage your calendars constructively. It's really not about breaking the record of how many conference calls you can do in a day. I'm sure a lot of us would be in the top 5. So prioritize relentlessly, escalate any risks around execution, customer service, customer satisfaction. So in closing, 2022 is going to be a great year, and I'd like to already thank all the team for the great work done in 2021 and taking things even further, obviously, in 2022. So thanks for your dedication, and I look forward to working with all of you in the coming months. So now I'm going to hand over to Stefano for the Southern Hub, and thank you.
Thank you, Maureen. It's very difficult to speak after such a great speaker, and especially with some limitation in the language, but I will try to do my best. I'm the oldest of the lot, 12 years with Baxter, for who do not know me, and 34 experience in life science, I think that 2022 will be, for many, many reasons, an incredible year. But before going there, I would like to join everybody to thank Chris, to thank his leadership this year, his dedication, and the fact that he accepted really an important bet, because creating from scratch this group in a vertical ecosystem, which is cross-sectional. It was really a strategic bet. And I think that looking at the achievement in 2022, 2021, Chris made a lot of step forward. Probably not in terms of impact, or at least we hope to be in a better position. But he tried to help the team to structure their activities, to have a common way of working, and to lend to some concrete example. And what we've done this year was significantly better than expected in the end because of difficulties at this moment. Having said that, 2022 will be a fantastic year because of the HEROM partnership and acquisition. And I agree with Eric. Connected care is by far the most important opportunity that we have. Not only because it's Cristiano giving us this mandate, but because the next generation EU for the healthcare is pretty much based on digital health as enabler of improving processes. So we have an incredible opportunity to make it happen. We already have a lot of fantastic apps and software that must be connected in order to create a new ecosystem that will generate improved outcome for our patients and clinicians and improve efficiency. So here is where we are. I think that we have an advantage of being a company with a differentiated portfolio. We have the medical devices, drugs, galenic formulations, and services. And it's up to us to connect them optimally and generate value solutions. Before getting there, our 4 pillars. The number one for us is market access. The 80% of the market in Italy is public market, and procurement and tenders are the key point. And our ability to interact with institutions at the national and regional level will make a difference in order to the sales achieved. Just to give you an idea, in 2021 we were awarded tenders in Italy by a value of $330 million. And so this is quite a substantial achievement, and having approximately 15% of non-incumbent tender awarded. So this will remain by far the major goal for 2022, because this generates the resources to move to the other areas. In terms of market access, we will continue to work on data generation through HTA and HER. We will work to push the envelope of telemedicine and digital health. We will work to make PD Game Changer a success. And we have to leverage, and this happened either in Italy, and in Spain, and Portugal, the next generation EU at the local level. There are a lot of funding in our countries, and the way the tenders are actually shaped, it's not very deep. And we can provide a lot of contribution in terms of contents in order to attract funds to fund our new vision of healthcare. And of course, when we have some important products like ICNet, the fact of providing such a vertical solution that might be connected with the EMR ecosystem will be a very, very good starting point to play a role in the digital arena. The second bucket is the One Baxter contract, the strategic account management. We got 13 contracts this year in South Europe. We want to expand. Here, the new logic is to focus on groups in Italy, but even in Spain and Portugal, talking to the key group, but trying to impact all the other satellite hospital in order to expand geographically what we negotiate at the central level. And we realized that this approach can be improved in the coming months, and this would be definitely our goal for this. And of course, we realized in the cross-selling exercise how many opportunities we have because of the HEROM partnership and acquisition to talk to the C-suite of the large group in order to expand our presence there, especially in the private sector, where the bundling offering is possible, either in South Europe. So our goal is to extend our presence in the One Baxter contract that will include all the HEROM portfolio where it's possible in the two business units. Value solutions. I don't want to replicate what Maureen and Rachel already said. I want just to say which are the area where we want to commit ourselves. The first is fighting hospital infections. And we have all the product, either in Baxter and HEROM, can provide a unique solution to fight something which is still probably the number one medical need in Europe, highly unaddressed. And we want to play a role in providing solutions in this arena with our solution, with partner solution, and try to create a biosafe environment for our hospitals. And this, of course, will have ICNet as the core of the intelligent system that will gather all the needed information to optimize the treatment, to fight infections, and to optimally manage our patients. If you think about this, an expansion at the territory level is OPAT. So once we understand how better manage infection, we can even provide at the patient home services to allow the out infusion of antibiotics. This is a common practice in Northern Europe, but it's basically completely not done in South Europe. So this is another area of opportunity. And the last mention for value solution is compounding. This is something which is expanding in Europe. In Italy, we have quite a large experience. So we built almost 40 Chivas, which is some laboratory when the oncolytic preparation are centralized for the hospital. And we accumulated over time a big experience to pave the way of the centralization of the preparations. This might be a core even for added value services for the territory. And we have a great experience in which the HEROM portfolio might have some interesting plug-in. Finally, digital health. Again, I don't want to repeat. I want to just say that probably our challenge will be not only connect our devices with the EMR system of the hospital and try to have something which is completely fragmented, scattered, to become a sort of body from other insights. Probably there is another layer on top. Look at the processes, understand which are the transactions between models, understand which are the KPIs, and help the organization we are talking to improve the way they work, to optimize the use of the human resources, and to use the analytics to make for our patients better conditions. And from this approach, so from this unique combination, from this cross-sectional strata that will help in improving all the process, I think we can extract not only improved outcome and efficiency for our stakeholders, but very valuable services and value solution for our customers. So with that, I would like to close here and to hand over to Manuel.
Hey, thank you, Stefano. Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you, Christian. I think this is a thank you coming from everyone. Thank you. It's been a pleasure to work with you all this time. Okay. Well, for those who still don't know myself, I joined the team 6 months ago. Yes, with a clear purpose of enhancing the value solutions on the digital health side. And we have been working hard in these 6 months with several teams in how we can be ready for facing these 2022 challenges. Okay. And the value solutions side, we have been working just to create a common framework, okay, to guarantee everybody in each hub can have the same pool of tools to face this kind of value solutions with our customers. And in my opinion, one of the main conclusions we have is something I would like to share with you today, which is the concept of a value solution, because all of us are commenting value solutions in several ways, but nobody has made a clear definition of that. And I think it's really simple and it's really understandable when we go to the comments my colleagues made before. At the end, a value solution is an offering made of a combination of different products, services, intelligence, and what is more important, powered by digital health. So at the beginning, we can talk about value solutions and digital health as if they were something completely different, but at the end, they are kind of a similar thing. They have main interconnection between one and the other. Okay. For this 2022, we will keep working in the value solution side and creating this common framework and these common tools that allow us to offer value solutions to our main customers in Europe. Okay. And in the digital health piece, we have been working hard this 2021 in creating a new operational model for Europe, which means have a clear idea of who does what when we implement the digital health solution. Okay. For this 2022, we are supposed to be expanding this operational model because we did it with technical service and with the case of TrueView Connect, but this will expand to any other solutions. Okay. And for this 2022, we have a main goal coming from the digital health side, which is creating a commercialization model, because our main purpose as a digital health structure is to commercialize these digital health solutions. Okay? And we are working hard to create this commercialization model, which is a framework where we can be able to commercialize any other digital health solution we want to launch in the market. Okay? We are working on another project, which is a really interesting one. It's called a EMEA subscription management tool, which is a tool we will offer our customers to manage their licenses when they buy any of our digital health solutions. You will know more later on. We are actually piloting it with the clinical nutrition team with the application of Sonic. Probably you will know a little bit more about that in the field in the next weeks. Okay, and for sure we will keep supporting the digital health projects coming from the business units, and it means mainly the connected devices. Okay, and here a special mention has to be done to TrueView, because we have been working a lot in the TrueView integration for acute therapies. We have been working a lot for the shared source analytics, and we will keep working in this project. And Q Energy Plus and any other medical devices will be connected in the next year. Okay, and now is the moment to talk about the different digital health solutions, which are the clinical management software we have already created inside our team. Okay, so I think this is a moment to be proud of everything we have been created before, and this is the moment to start the commercialization and to extend the commercialization of these digital health solutions. Let me talk about Bercia Renal. This is a product been launched in Spain with a really good, really success strategy, and in the previous year was expanded in the near west. For this 2022, we have a clear plan of expansion for in the entire EMEA region, and we are working hard to have a expansion strategy for the Western Europe region. We have another project, which is Bercia for Nutrition. Here we are creating a commercialization plan together with the clinical nutrition business unit. Actually, today in their KOM, they will have a presentation of Bercia Nutrition at 4:15, I guess it is. So I will invite you to join this session just to know more about Bercia for Nutrition. The idea is to create this commercialization plan. We are in the pilot phasing, and we will be commercializing at the end of this year. We will keep working in the Baxter telemedicine project. This is one most of you probably know. This is a PD training project. We make a partnership with Teladoc to train our patients in PD remotely. We have received the first feedback coming from the project, and it's really good, really good. And for this year, we will expand the pilots, and we will keep collecting information about the or feedback about the value behind this solution in the different use cases we're supposed to be working in. And of course, special mention to ICNet, which is one of our top digital health solutions. We keep with the project of geo-expansion for this solution, joining together with the value solutions programs. For ending from my side, just to say the value solutions, digital health, connected care, this is all the same. This is the future. I would say this team is here for shaping this future. So go for it and go back to Eric. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for the highlights. So we're now going to move into smaller sessions, which will be much more interactive than this one. I think we plan to connect 2 minutes ago to the next one. So let's give everyone who connects at 11 another 2 minutes so that you can move or grab a drink, and then we'll reconnect like at 5 past the hour, which is 11:05 in CET, and we reconnect for the next session. But I want to thank everyone. Again, thank you for Christian, thank you for the winners, and thank you everyone for sharing the highlights of 22, and we speak together very shortly. Thank you.